Welcome everyone. It's good to be with you. My name is Aaron Hawkins, and we're on day 2 of our By Faith series as we look at Hebrews chapter 11, and we're just diving into this amazing chapter as we learn more and more about faith. And I think this is just such a great topic for any occasion, but especially now as we're facing stay-at-home orders because of the virus, the COVID-19 virus. And I think during a time like this, like I shared yesterday, this can be a time where we actually really start to look at our faith, whether we're questioning faith, we're trying to go deeper in our faith. And so I'm just excited to really dive in, to look at Hebrews chapter 11. And yesterday we talked about the definition of faith. How as this confidence of what we hope for, it's assurance of what we do not see. And how one of the things about our faith, and one of the things that can help us with our faith, is that we can be confident that God is who He says He is, and that He will do what He says He will do, that He will live up to His promises. And I love in Exodus when God and Moses are talking, and Moses asks God, like, hey, who should I say is sending me to rescue the Hebrews from the Egyptians? And God just says, I am. Meaning, like, just say I am. Like, that was a mic drop moment by our God. He was saying, that's all you need to know. That's who I am. But we can also take hold of His promises that He will take care of us, that He loves us, like I shared yesterday. And today, I'm excited because there's another mic drop moment that we're going to look at, especially when you really understand this scripture right here. Hebrews chapter 11, verse 3, it says, by faith, we understand that the universe was formed at God's command, so that what is seen was not made out of what was visible. Now, I'll tell you what, as we look at this and we look at this scripture is just enough to make you stop in your tracks. I know for myself, I understand that this scripture was written over 2,000 years ago by the writer of Hebrews, and he makes this declaration that is just jaw-dropping. He says, it is by faith that we understand that the universe was formed at God's command. I love in Romans chapter 1, verse 20, you kind of hear something else, this echoed in another way. Paul says, for since the creation of the world, God's invisible qualities, His eternal power and divine nature have been clearly seen, being understood from what was been made, so that people are without excuse. Paul tells us, he says, hey, there's no excuses to not believe in God when you look at nature, when you look at creation, when you look at the universe. Now, for myself, I'm not a scientist, even though I do appreciate science. I love learning about how things work. I know there's some things that have happened just in my life that I've seen happen that just really have blown me away. I'm a father of 2 kids. If you watched my video yesterday, you got to see both my boys demonstrating what faith actually looks like. But I can tell you, my faith grew so much just by watching what happens at childbirth and all that goes into that, the before and the after, and just seeing like what happens to a female body. I'm not going to get into all of it. You can do your own research. But man, my faith grew because of how God just designed women to experience and go through childbirth. And there's things I just really didn't understand. But I can tell you, I was so blown away. Another thing about it is, just when my kids were born in that first year, how much kids grow. Literally, they just physically grow. Like, I don't know if you know this, but you triple in size, triple in weight that first year. And that just blows my mind because it's the only time that it happens. And I'm glad that we don't continue to triple in size. I don't know if my grocery budget could afford it, and I personally just wouldn't want to do that. But man, like, isn't God amazing about His creation? About us. Like, He's really thought of everything, and there's so much order to it. Even though we are all so complex, and everything around us, all this nature around us, it is absolutely complex, but God has just everything in just the right order as He sees it. When I look around, I live in a valley, and the mountains that surround me, like, it just shows me God's majesty and His beauty. And I don't feel this need to have to understand all of it. Truth is, I don't think I could understand all of it. I just look around and say, wow, like God, our Creator, He is amazing. He has done so many amazing things for us. I believe that God's creation points to Him. I'm excited because we're going to check out a quick video clip of a man in our church. His name is Mike Forsland. Let's look at it really quick as we learn more about faith. Well, Mike, it's exciting to be here. I wanted to connect with you because we're studying out creation and how we can actually have faith that God did all the creating, as it says in Hebrews 11, chapter 11, verse 3. I wanted to ask you because, it says in your background, you're asteroid hunters. Tell me a little bit about what you and your son are doing in the world of astronomy.
Yeah, basically, Aaron, we have an asteroid hunter control center here. We actually have a YouTube channel, Twitch channel, Instagram, all the stuff. But basically what we do is my son and I specialize in collecting orbital data for asteroids that are out there. We work hand in hand with the Minor Planet Center, which is kind of the holding facility for all things near Earth object related. It's funded by NASA. It's a NASA program, been around for a lot of years. So there's a lot of astronomers around the world that are basically taking observations of these objects. And what we do is we have a telescope here in our backyard, basically, and we essentially do observations and take measurements on these objects when they come into view, so we can figure out what their orbits are and if they threaten the planet or not. And that's essentially what we do. So we're looking at comets and asteroids and all kinds of various things. That's primarily what the Asteroid Hunters does.
Oh, that's really cool right there. And I know you guys have a huge following. You're putting out videos all the time.
Yeah, it's crazy. We have thousands of people following us. It's insane.
Yeah. And anyway, so it's really exciting what you guys are doing. I don't really understand that stuff, but we're talking about creation. And I also know that you're a man of faith. You and your whole family, you guys are Christians. And I wanted to ask you, what has this done for your faith as you've embarked on learning about like just the great beyond? What has it done for your faith?
Well, you start to, we'd look at a lot of the NEOs and these asteroid stuff, but we also do a lot of galaxy research. We stretch our hands out beyond our own galaxy. And the more you start to kind of get into this and start to learn, you start to realize there is order to it, which is crazy. But you start to see some of this creation that's gone on out there. Mm-hmm. And it is vast. I mean, there's so much we don't know. It's an incredible thing. But the one thing that I found, I want to share this picture with you, which is really incredible, is that the more we look at some of this stuff, the more you realize we're actually pretty connected with this vast universe that is out there. And I don't know if you've ever seen the actual eye and galaxy images, but when we look at our eyes and how intricate they are, we start studying galaxies and we start to see that there's actually a relation to the way they look. I'm going to share my screen here with you real quick so you can see. So here's the picture. So here's our human eyes, and then these are the galaxies. And cool. The more we start to study this stuff, the more we realize, hey, we're actually really connected with what's going on out there. So this has been really faith building for me as well. And the more you start to study it, the more you realize, wow, God's got His hand in so much out there, but we are all kind of connected in that sense. So it's been pretty special with that. That's for sure.
Wow. Well, Mike, thank you so much for sharing that. We serve a huge God, an amazing God. And the stuff that He's done, I know for myself, it just blows me away. But thanks for your time. Thanks for sharing with us what's going on in your guys' lives. Thanks for even building our faith with that image. That's that image that's a pretty radical image right there that you got to show us. Cool. So thanks for sharing. All right, I hope you guys have a great day.
Thank you. You too. Take care.
All right, bye. It's really awesome to interview Mike and to learn more about what he's doing, but also just to see that this universe that we live in is vast, it's complex, and it has a designer. God had a plan for it, and He has a plan for each one of us. I want to encourage you and challenge you through this time to slow down, to get outside if you can, to do a little research, and start to see God in His creation. Learn more about some of those facts that really they point to something bigger than ourselves. They point to a true designer. Thank you for being with me. Thank you for putting up with the wind, the motorcycles, and even the screaming children in the background. I hope you guys have a great day, and I'll see you tomorrow.